Mic on.
Okay then, so we're now on the okay, so whoops. Okay, so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show damn it. I'm going to show how to replace the cylinder head. So what we need first is a table because we're going to need a lot of space here. Let's go that wide. Now, this vehicle itself doesn't actually need that to be changed, but we're going to do it anyway because that's just what this is going to be about. So, need this ratchet, but not this way. Weird. Okay, so first things first, let's remove the spark plugs. Well, we don't have to remove the spark. Okay, screw it. Yeah, we're going to remove the spark plugs too. So I'm going to remove these spark plug wires. Now I need cycle socket extension. No. Okay. Drop that right there. So, like I've mentioned previously, keeping everything in order is exceptionally important. Because essentially what we're trying to do is to take it apart and put it back together exactly the way we essentially found it. The only difference being the cylinder head being replaced. Pretty straightforward. So now what I'm going to do is start to remove the valve cover. So I'm going around and working my way around until I reach the center. So think of it kind of like a spiral. Spiraling inward like that. Now, yes, I did do this in the previous video, but since this is what we have to do in order to remove the head, well, goes without saying, gotta cover this as well. Okay, we're almost there. The penultimate screw, and the final one. Okay, so now we can take this off, put that right there, just like that. Okay, so now, like I said, this is the cylinder head. Now, I'm curious if this will let me remove the head without removing the camshafts, because I don't want to remove the camshafts. Hell no. Yes, the head bolts. It does not. Okay, fine. Okay. So the head bolts, we have one here, one here, one here, one here, 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 here. That's a total of 10 head bolts. We need to remove all those in order to remove the head. Right. Just noticing and remembering it roughly that to remove the head, I also have to remove the intake and exhaust manifold. So let's go ahead and do that now. Come on. This part's kind of a pain in the ass, honestly. Trying to keep these in order. Okay, so that one goes in the middle. Okay. What have I missed? There's one. Okay, so here we go. We got the exhaust manifold removed. Set that like so. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, that was the coolant coming out. It's fine. It's fine. Just gonna sit that right on top since it connects right up next to it. Next, you know what? Let me get another table here. That way I have one for the engine disassembly, then another for... Damn it, come on. Fine. Okay. Whoops, that's my chair in real life. No, don't pop those out. I wonder if I could just... Cool. That works a lot better. Okay. Trying to get these at least... Okay, fine. You want to play like that? Didn't want to do that, but... here we are. So every car is going to be different. So I'm not going to necessarily say that this will be 100% reflective of what you'll have to do on your vehicle. Come on. There we go. Okay, so now I need to remove these bolts. Okay. Now I'm just removing the intake manifold. It's going to take a little bit. Okay. Not too shabby. There's going to be more bolts, I'm sure of it. Okay. Okay. Something else in my room. I don't know what that was. That should be all of them for the manifold. Okay, now I can take this little bastard off. Ah, I'm getting too close to the edge. Okay. There we go. Now I'm a little more situated properly. Okay. Just removing the bolts on the manifold. You know what? I call that a manifold too. Let me plenum. Pfft. It's all part of the intake manifold. Never mind. Well, yes, technically this is relatively easy. It's still a very long process, as you can so clearly tell. Alright, that should be all of them. Okay, so there's the manifold. Okay, so now we can forget about that. That's the one part that I don't want to do. In real life, you could just pull this belt off to the side, so we can take this off. But I guess since we're doing a complete removal, yep, can watch that rotate. Okay, so I'm just going to rotate it until okay, close enough. What is that tool that I need? Damn it. Work with me here. Okay. Wait. How did they want me to do it? Okay, so I'm going to lock it in place like that, which should allow me to rotate this. Haha. Okay, so here's one of the problems that you may face. Interesting. Doesn't want me to use that either. Yep, okay. I figured that wouldn't happen. Let's go ahead and remove these four suckers. It's probably being locked in place, so yeah. Okay. I doubt this will fit on there. Yeah, because we got the device still on there. Come on. Controller's vibrating. Yeah, no, I didn't think so. So what is... Oh, obviously. Haha. I forgot. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Hey. Okay. So now I got this bolt out for the crankshaft. Take this out. Just gonna set it there. Remove this piece right here. Then I can take off the belt, the timing belt to be exact. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is the real pain in the butt. I'm curious. No, we're gonna have to do it. Okay, so we're gonna remove the camshafts. Alright. So now this is in its position. We have this in its position. So we're gonna take this out. Actually, no. Let's leave it in. Okay, so I'm gonna go. It's gonna be for the left side. The intake side, I mean. Okay, so reinstallation has a particular order. Removal doesn't really, but I like to have a little bit of order. So I'm gonna do from the outside in. Hmm. Thinking about it, it might actually be inside out, but let me just verify. I don't think it really matters, honestly. Okay, yeah, so torquing to spec is from the inside out, and removing, doing outside in. Just wanted to verify, be 100% sure. And of course, this is under the assumption that if you, there we go. This under the assumption that your new replacement head doesn't already come with all this stuff installed. If it doesn't, well, then you're gonna spend a lot of time. And honestly, I probably wouldn't even recommend it because it's just a lot more specialty tools, you know. Okay, so there's the first camshaft bearing for the intake. Let's make sure there. Talk about a long little process. Okay, so we got that. And now I can remove this, set it out to the side, and pull this off. I'm just going to sit it right here. So that is the intake camshaft. Now we're going with the exhaust. You know what, while I'm taking it, I'm going to take the bearings as well. Just kind of expedite these things. Excuse me. Okay. You know what? Could use a light over here. Huh. I can do it like that, then I might as well do it like this. Perfect. Okay, so first off, this needs to be rotated around. That one needs to be sit back in its position. Perfect, perfect. Okay. Getting closer to finishing the exhaust camshaft. Hey, the fuck? Okay, so now you can just cleanly take this one off. Oh, is it so bad, right? Okay, so now we have all the both camshafts removed, and now you can see that we have the valve lifters and valve springs in there, and of course then the valves themselves. But let's go ahead and deal with the head itself. Daily, we're going to need that, and let me just make sure. Okay, so it's going to be 79 newton meters. Let's go ahead and increase this to 90 is good. So since when we bolt it in, it's from center out, we're going to do out to center. Come on, little bitch. Now that's a big bolt. Shoot. Looks like I'm going to need another one. You know what? I could put this in the very back. Oh! Last thing we want is to knock that stuff out of the way. Okay. So, I'm going to put them like so. Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, these are some tough ass bolts. Alright, so like I said, we have 10 of these. Now, they don't necessarily have to be, it may not necessarily be the same vehicle to vehicle. That's without a doubt. You know, just use the breaker bar. Okay, so now we're coming back to this side again. Careful with these bolts, because these kind of bolts aren't exactly cheap. And depending on the car, might even be special order. Come on. Perfect. Okay. We're almost done. Do note that you can always get heads that are fully assembled. It'll be a little more expensive, but once we deal with the valves, then you'll see it's a whole different scenario there. Okay. Okay, perfect. That's what I was hoping for. That I wouldn't have to do literally everything. But here we go. There's the cylinder head right here. Just gonna set that right there as I resituate for my room. So I can grab this, flip it over, grab this. So now we can see this looks like the penta roof combustion chamber right here in this area. So we have okay, so that's the exhaust side. So these two, this side of the valves are all the exhaust, and these valves over here, they're for the intake. Now you can see that they are indeed different sizes compared to the two. Now, like I have in my notebook, the intake is bigger because it's more important to get air into the chamber than it is to get it out, because the piston is going to push the air out, while when the piston's coming down for the to pull the air in, excuse me, when the air is being pulled in, it essentially creates a vacuum, and if you don't get enough air in time before the piston reaches bottom dead center and the valves close, the intake valves close, then you don't have a full chamber or a full cylinder of your air fuel ratio or air fuel mixture. So therefore, when you come back, when the piston comes back up, it's not going to be fully efficient because it doesn't have it, it's going to have a partial vacuum. So yeah, don't want to do that. Anyway, so since we have this here, let me see, what was this? Oh, that was the inlet for the water. Whoops. Oh, well, it's okay, it's okay. Anyway, I really don't want to take these out, but I guess since we're here. Otherwise, I would say no way in hell. Fuck that. But I'll just take out a couple. Let me do note, actually, that the spark plugs go right in the center. So I want to find some valves that are closed. So I don't want to go through all that. It doesn't matter, actually. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out. Here's your little valve lifter. Then here's the little, what do you call it? It's so on top of the valve spring, you have like a little, almost like a washer. So that way it evenly distributes to the valve lifter. Why is the valve lifter still spinning? What the hell? Where the hell am I that's causing this? Okay. And there's the spring. And then, if we rotate this around, we can pull the valve lifter right there. And then, if we wanted to do this for all of them, then we would do it 16 times, removing these 4 pieces in order to do that. Of which I don't want to do. If you want to do that or you have to do that, go ahead. But I am not. That is just way too much work. Okay, but as a note, when you're installing the valve springs, on here it's kind of condensed. You would actually need some special hardware in order to actually do this. This would not be exactly something that a novice would be doing. Absolutely hate that. Okay, I'm just going to set this off over here. And we're going to take a look at the engine. So here we can see, here's our engine block. Perfect. Here's our engine block. Here, these holes, they're channels for coolant or oil, one of those two. But if we look at the pistons themselves, we can see that they have little divots in here. Now, every pistons will be different based on what they're trying to accomplish. They may have a little dome on there for to get higher compression, or they may be flat, or they may have little dips in there. For these, this would be essentially to kind of avoid the valves from hitting or making contact with the piston, just in case something happens, I guess. It would help a little bit, but it's not going to be a sure thing. But anyway, here we can see the little piston. We can't see the connecting rod. Actually, there's a connecting rod right there. And you can see that each of these pistons, they have 3 little rings on them. The bottom one is the oil ring. The second one, I forget the name of it. No, not you. The second ring, intermediate ring. And then the top one is the compression ring. So, essentially how you would put that in the engine block. Okay. While we're here, we can also see the starter, which right there is connected to the flywheel that connects the engine block and the transmission. It's really connected to the crankshaft in the transmission, honestly, the flywheel. Here you can see like your tensioner pulleys. idler pulley. So you have one for tension, one for idle, you know, all your good stuff. But I think we should probably start wrapping this up by reinstalling. So let's say you just finished doing all that, and now you want to put the head back on. I'm gonna do 79 Newton meters. I'm gonna change this. Here, it's important to follow the tensioning rule and torquing to spec. So what I typically do, I just tighten it down enough, just to where it's a little tight, but not crazy tight. And move on to the next one. We won't fully tighten until we have all of them bolted in. Oops. See, once you've taken it apart for most people is the easiest, you know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, see? Torque head bolts in 2 stages to a final torque of 79 Newton meters. Now, obviously you might be wondering, why do I have my torque wrench at 75 Newton meters if I'm supposed to do it in 2 stages? Well, I'm not. The second it stops, I let go. So you could do whatever you want. You could put it at 15 foot-pounds or whatever you want. But see, that one didn't have it. Okay. There's my final spec. And then it's done. Now that we have this completed, now we can go to the very long and daunting task of these camshafts. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this back in the exact same position as I had them. Now you don't necessarily have to, but I promise you it'll be a lot easier if you line it up beforehand. Just a tad bit off. Perfect. Look at that. The I is lined up with the I, the E is lined up with the E. Now, let's see what the foot-pounds. 12 nanometers. Okay, so for that, we'll actually need a different... This little guy. Wait, are you serious? There we go, finally. Okay, so this one wanted at 12. Let's do 10. going to leave this here. Now, what I shall do is I shall put on the bearings first. Oh, we got... Nope, that's on... Never mind. That's on the crankshaft where they have little bearings as well. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, so now we have all the bearings. Now, so this has a sequence from center out. So we do those, and then we go like that. It's kind of like that. So what I'm going to do is focus on one side first. What the hell? Okay. Make sure. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now while this could be done without looking, it's always ideal to make sure you're looking at the order so as to avoid making mistakes. Professionals make mistakes. Everyone can make mistakes, so... Serious? Really? Come on, game. Okay, so now I need those two and those two. And left, right. What? And left, right. Okay, so now we're going to increase this to 12. Okay. So the exhaust is completely done now. Time to do the exact same thing on the intake. Yep, as you can see, the exact same sequence. Whoops. See? 178. Okay. Look at that, we're just about done. 9 and 10. Does this take a long time? Hell yeah. Three, four, yeah. Just wanted to make sure. And then it's left, right. And then left, right. And now, look at that. Now we're already putting the belt back on. Perfect. I guess technically I should have taken that off first, but psh, whatever. So now I put that clip on. And okay, so now we're locking that. I'm going to lock this as well. Can never be too safe. That one says 160 Newton meters. So we're going to need this one. Oof. Okay. Okay. So I could take the lock off. Now I could take the pulley, harmonic balancer pulley, put that on. This back on. Okay, small pulley bolts to 10. Cool. Okay. I like to do a star pattern when dealing with circular bolt patterns. So, now that we have that, let's go ahead and do just going to reattach that. Damn you. Going to gently fit that into place. Now, some vehicles may have a gasket between these, the exhaust manifold and the cylinder head. Same for the intake. This one doesn't. Okay, alright, so that's locked into place. It's going to say 40 Newton meters. Okay, so topmost. Okay, so now okay, so now fully in torque. Ah, come on. Okay. Okay, so that is done. Let's move over there so that way centered again. Go ahead and do the intake. Well, these are on the bottom. Okay. Almost there. Almost there. Okay, so those 40 Newton meters as well. Kind of figured. Okay, so make sure it's fully tight. I'm just going in a rotation. Alright, so that's done. Pop that into place. This part doesn't exactly matter, you know. Where is it? Okay. Yeah, I was just making sure. It seemed like I was going crazy. Couldn't get it in. They go in right there. I can see it. There we go. Come on. Come on. Okay, so here's the downside of virtual reality. Come on. Okay, this is very annoying. Fucking hell. Okay. 30. Come on. There we go, finally. Jeez. Okay. Now our throttle body. Let's get that in. Yep, okay, Okay, so it's the exact same. Okay. Perfect. I can pop this on. Okay, not that bad. So I got all that done. Now I just gotta do these. Pop that back in place. And per usual, that was 7.5. Okay. Goes there, there. There. The last two. Okay. Exact opposite of what we did on disassembly. Now final torque. Okay. Spark plugs, 18 Newton meters, plus minus 20%. Okay. Almost done. Oh, wait. Crap.
Mic on. Mic off. Mic on.
Okay, so
Mic on.
Okay, so I just realized I forgot something. Exceptionally important.
Mic on.
What the hell's going on?
Mic on.
So I forgot to remove the camshaft lock, so I gotta take this off again. No biggie. Easy peasy, right? Okay. Almost done. Can't believe I forgot that. Well, like I said earlier, everyone makes mistakes. And if someone says they never have, then they're a liar. There we go.
Mic on.
Seems like my... No, my ear headphones aren't dying. They can't be. Something's going on with my headphones, though. Okay. Almost.
Mic on.
Come on. 7.5. Damn near almost done.
Mic on. Mic on. Mic off. Mic on.
So annoying. Something's going on. Anyway, let's get this done. Okay, 7.5 newton meters. Good. Okay, let me... Okay. Now, put that in. That one. And last but not least, bam! Look at that. All done. And... Okay, I need coolant.
Mic on. Mic on.
Okay, oil's good actually. One annoyance is on here, we don't know how much this needs. Just have to fill it until it overflows. Unfortunately. Any second. Oh, there we go. See? So that was now full. Put that back on. No. There we go. Engine runs. Yeah, this stuff right here, this is not part of what I'm showing. Anyway, so that's it. Not too bad.
Mic off.